What's up, guys? Dylan here again, and today I'm bringing you a video on my 1986 Honda Spree. So some of you that may have been subscribed to me years ago may remember that moped. I've had it, it's been sitting in my my shed for 4 years, not running, and I pulled it out and we're going to be reviving it today. So I already had it. It was already pretty much disassembled when it was in the shed 4 years ago, but I went the extra step. I took the jug and everything off, and I was going to do another rebuild kit on it because it had about 2,000 miles on it, and the oil pump failed. Where is that at? So what happened on the previous rebuild kit that was on it, the seal in the oil pump failed and dumped oil into the crankcase and filled up the combustion chamber and popped the head gasket. No good. So I mean, I needed to do a head gasket anyway to it, so I thought these rebuild kits are super cheap. It's got like 2,000 miles on it, and I take it out and it's got scoring on it anyway, so you know, might as well just redo it because it's gonna last probably what, like 500 more miles until it craps out. So yeah, I have that. I got a new carburetor because this one, all the threads are just gone and it is just junk. So what I did with the oil pump, I already have another one on it. I had a part spree down in my shed also, and I put that oil pump on this, and now it should be good. So before I go into this project anymore with you guys, I have a little update on the Mustang here, and I'm sad to say that it is pretty much a parts car now. You might be saying, why is that? Well, let me show you here. If you can see, oh, that's where the gas tank was bolted. There is absolutely nothing left to this car. The frame, everything is just gone. Look at even the support bar right here, cracked, rotted through. There is, I mean, guys, come on, this, I should have looked at this better, honestly, when I bought it, but you live and you learn. So this thing's pretty much a parts car now. On top of the rust that's got on the frame for the K-member is bolted to. It's too much, guys. It's just a new Edge Mustang. So what I think I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to use this as a parts car, and I'm going to find another new Edge that has a blown motor or something, and just, you know, take the Cobra wheels off of this thing, other various bits and pieces, and use it for that car, and then I won't be stuck with an engine back in that corner right there to put it into nothing. So that's what I think I'm going to do with that. Hopefully I can find one, because everyone wants a pretty penny for new Edges for some reason. So I'll see what I can find. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this. Okay guys, so we got all of our parts here. So I ordered a big bore kit from eBay from a seller named ChopChop123. Link for all the parts will be in the description at the end of the video. And then I actually found a brand new carburetor on eBay as well. This is a Chinese one, so we're gonna have to see how well that works. There's already a couple things that were different about it. This port right here is not used, so I just put a vacuum hose on it, zip tied it. That should be good enough. It's not going to go anywhere. And then it's got these ports right here that are blocked off with this hose. So this might be, I don't know, they might use this on multiple models, so they just left all those ports on there, but whatever. So big bore kit comes with the jug, the piston, obviously, the rings, a base gasket, with 2 base gaskets for some reason, the head gasket, the wrist pin, and the 2 wrist pin clips. That whole kit was $95, which is a bargain if you ask me. And then I got another head and head bolts on eBay that were in a lot better shape than what I had or. So that was only 30 bucks, 95 bucks, and then this carburetor was 30 bucks. So I spent under 200 bucks for this whole rebuild. So that's not bad if you ask me. So yeah, let's bring all this stuff out and let's get right to it. Alright guys, so first thing I'm going to do here is take the bearing out of the rod. I'm going to clean up right in there, make sure there's no dirt or anything. And then I'm going to make sure there's no dirt on the bearing here. I'm going to oil that up. A little cup of oil. Insert that guy. Now, the real pain in the butt part of this whole thing are these little tiny circlips. I already did one for you right there. Those are the big pain in the butt. That's what keeps the wrist pin in place. So, on this kit, you're going to wonder which side goes towards the exhaust, which is that way. There's going to be an EX right there. So, that side toward the exhaust. Make sure there's no dirt anywhere. And then we're gonna take the wrist pin. We're gonna get that nice and lubed up. Make sure you use 2-stroke oil for all of this. And we're gonna start it in there. Actually, this can be a pain too. Gotta make sure I'm lined up. Okay guys, so after you do that pain in the butt process of getting those circlips in, which I did, as you can see, both sides, piston is now in place. So we're going to put the cylinder on now. So on the spree here, or any really 2-stroke, you cannot use a ring compressor because the cylinder goes right over top of it. So you have to use your fingers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the cylinder on, make sure everything's oiled up, and then we're going to get the head on. And then after that, we're going to just start getting it back together. So, yeah. Okay, so basically we have the cylinder and the piston on, so pretty much the biggest pain in the butt for this is just making sure you stay clean with everything. It's really hard to do when you have the work environment like I do. Just make sure you stay really clean, no dirt inside the cylinder. Make sure the circlips are lined up perfectly and the wrist pin and everything's in. And then make sure the rings, there's a little groove on for each ring. Make sure the ring stays inside that groove or you're going to have big problems. So, now what we're going to do next is we're going to get the head gasket. And then the head, which goes on like that. We're going to get one of the bolts through, just to line all the gaskets up. Okay. Now, what you want to do before you do this is hold the cylinder down and put the cycle the piston a few times and make sure there's no issues. And with mine, there were no issues. Threading in here. There we go. I think it's going. Yeah. Get it threaded in here. Now, I had a spark plug ordered, but that still hasn't gotten here yet, so for the time being, I'm just going to reuse the old one. Just until I get another spark plug. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten that up. I don't have a torque wrench, so 9 foot-pounds by my hand is going to have to do. So, yeah, these cylinder heads are 9 foot-pounds for the head bolts. Be very careful because they can stretch and break if you go too hard on them. You don't want that to happen. So all that's back together. So now all we need to do is just put it back together. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to get this thing running today. I can't wait. It hasn't been running in like 4 years, so I'm stoked. We're getting close to it running, so I have the carburetor hooked up. I'm just trying to tuck these wires and hoses and make them more neat, so I'm going to zip tie them. And then I got to figure out where this drain for the carburetor goes. I got the exhaust on and then the ignition coil on, and then we should be ready to fire once we get some fresh gas in the tank. He recommends for this big bore kit, when you break this in, you want to run the premix. You want to run premix in the tank, so like an 80-to-1, just a little bit more oil to go along with the oiling system, because the cylinder and the piston are a bit bigger, so it needs a little more oiling than stock. And then once it's broken in after 100 miles, 90-to-1 is a good premix, so just barely any oil in the gas. Okay guys, it's all back together, so brush fuel on it, and let's see if this baby will start up. It's going to take a little bit for the fuel to get to the carb. There's nothing in it, so probably going to take a little bit. Almost. Yeah, it runs good. Alright guys, there you have it. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to run it through 3 heat cycles and then break it in for 100 miles. She runs better than I even thought. Not bad. I'm very happy with it. I'm excited to finally hoon around on this thing once again. Yeah, follow-up video, I'm gonna have it all back together. I'm just gonna get it all warmed up with all the panels and everything off first, and I'll get it broken in, and then when I'm riding it, I'll take a video and show you guys. So thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and take care.